Cancers, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for April 25th through the 1st of May 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link because the signs are different. All right, so Cancer this week, very straightforward. We've got Mercury going retrograde on Thursday. We've got Venus going into your 10th house. In fact, your 10th house is the house that's really getting activated. And this is the house of your career. It's the house of your public image, your achievements in life, your productive life, your legacy, that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of energy to be gained right now at the moment. In fact, your guys' energy levels could be high with the sun here at the top of your chart. And you guys could be really pursuing these goals or these long-term things or productive things in your life. And I think you can be gaining a lot of energy through that, in fact, with the sun. Now, within that context, of course, Mercury's retrograde here. So for the next 3 weeks up into May 22nd, you guys are going to be reflecting and I think rehashing and redoing some of that career or productive related stuff in your life. So it's good, particularly around Thursday, to just kind of pause for a second relating to those matters because, like I said, it's a good time to redo, rethink, and for the next few weeks, just kind of, put energy into this stuff, but be willing to be malleable, try new things, and be flexible in the process because that's where the true learning really comes into the picture. Now, Mercury does also rule your third house of communication. So anytime Mercury's retrograde, you guys could be reflecting on that. It's a good time to be reflecting on matters relating to your correspondence and maybe the daily things that you're a part of in terms of exchanges in life, like correspondence, just kind of holding on for a second. The communication, just bringing extra attention to that. And also your 12th house too. So anytime Mercury goes retrograde, it's also a good time for you guys to be getting that R&R. That rest and relaxation to see where you could be, where you could have a little bit more peace in your life, right? Where you could have a bit more of that tranquil energy. So some good things to think about. And again, on Thursday with that pause, definitely a good time to reflect on those things. Now, Mercury is going to be sextiling up to Chiron all week long because of his station, and that's taking us into next week. So there's a bit of healing taking place with your communication, with your career, with your spiritual self. And so that's Chiron, and I think there's an opening for that. I think it's an excellent week for those things. So when it does come to those areas I mentioned, I think just being open to healing, seeing where you might have some perhaps wounds or insecurities relating to those matters that you might want to be aware of. And I think it can become easy for you to be aware of them and then accept them, and that's when the real healing takes place. Now, also, Venus is going to be going into your 10th house. This is going to be as the second half of the week unfolds. So by weekend, you guys should be feeling that there is a bit of this enjoyment that can be attained through maybe connecting to your career or public things or striving for that success. Maybe even meeting people through your career and stuff like that. So that's going to be an ongoing energy going into next week, but I did want to mention there is this shift of your values, and I think you'll really start to see more of those values in terms of the career and productive stuff. Now, one thing I want to mention too is that we're in the third quarter phase of this lunar cycle this week. So that last full moon we had was in your third house. So that was a good area for you guys to gain some insight with, last week in terms of those communications, in terms of correspondence, in terms of reading, writing, sharing, communicating. This sort of high time with everything that's either intellectual or communicative. So whatever that was for you, if it was anything specific or not, implementing that kind of energy this week I think is great. Seeing where you can challenge yourself with the communication, with the mind, by maybe doing some of that writing or reading or sharing or whatever it might be. And that's a really good way of working with the lunar cycle this week. Now, the last major aspect of the week is going to be the sun sextiling up to Neptune over the weekend, so that there is a bit of this easygoingness coming in. And I think this might be for you in terms of your sense of self-worth, in terms of the career, maybe the finances, the productive stuff. And, I say the finances and sense of self-worth because the sun rules your second. So it's a easygoingness about this. Maybe it's on the financial side. Maybe there's something that you guys are enjoying there. Maybe it's the easygoingness, the good meal, the relaxation, that kind of stuff. I think is an excellent weekend for that. But really all week long, I think there's a lot of this emphasis on the productive aspect of things, particularly reflecting, rethinking, redoing. That kind of stuff is great. Can be gaining energy through that stuff and enjoying it as Venus makes her way into that 10th. All right, so Cancer, I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week.